Do you want to know what the big dates for the crypto market will be in April? Well, I've got you covered. And everyone out there, thank Frankie Ortiz for bugging me in the comments saying, bro, bring back the big dates video. So whether it's economic news, crypto news, development news, we've got meetings, all sorts of juicy stuff. You're going to learn about the big dates in April. And guess what happens today? The Chicago White Sox take on the Atlanta Braves. Well, I grew up in the Chicago area, and now I live in the Atlanta area, but yeah, we're going to be rooting for the Sox, even though they're 0-3. Happy April 1st, April Fool's Day, everyone, and hopefully you had a great Easter. Thank you for all the warm comments, and I apologize if I could not get to all of them yesterday, so if I didn't, happy belated Easter to you. Jacob starts us off, says, this crypto market is so infuriating. Utility crypto with real-world use cases, networks, infrastructure, and you've got Queef Hat Coin and all this blue-chip garbage. Dude, I get it, man. Utility just isn't moving, and we're seeing the meme stuff move, and you got Bitcoin halving coming up. That's one of the big dates. Sean P says they'll cut rates in June. Ooh, we're going to talk about why they would be cutting rates here in June with the big dates. Heat map? Let's just skip it for now. Why? Because I'm going to share the details with you. We're going to start it off with consumer-based data. You go CPI data for the United States will be held on April 10th. We're going to be doing a live stream for that event so you don't miss out. Now, why do we cover CPI data? Because Jerome Powell said this is the biggest report that he looks at in order to determine rate hikes, cuts, or pauses. Now, not to leave our friends across the pond out, guess what's happening April 17th? UK CPI data. And now you're sitting there going, okay, Cos, with all that CPI data, when is the Fed meeting? It's not in April, but it's right after April, May 1st. That's when the Fed is expected to do what, everyone? Take a pause. All right, what else do I got for you? Bitcoin halving is going to be on April 19th. Wouldn't it be nice if it was happening on 4/20? Get your mind out of the gutter, everyone. Come on now. Bitcoin halving April 19th. Let's keep going. What about big dates for Ripple and the SEC? And guess what, everyone? As always, any article you see in this video, along with all my other ones, will be linked in the description below. All right, so the SEC filed their thing, their expectation, what they wanted Ripple to pay. We saw that, the $2 billion. Well, guess what? On April 22nd, Ripple's deadline to file its opposition brief is there. April 3rd, 23rd to 24th, they're going to be doing what? Redactions. Remember, a lot of this stuff is going to be redacted, but don't worry, some of us are going to be scouring the dark web, not going to be mentioning any names or anyone, but if we come across unredacted versions, oh, we're going to share that kind of stuff. What else do I got for it? Well, if you're in the United States, if you're in Canada, if you're in Australia, if you're in the UK, if you're in the Eurozone, I've got reports where you can filter it by country as well. The other thing I wanted to share with you is Thursday, April 11th. That's PPI data. And you're going, Klaus, I heard CPI data, but what's PPI data? Okay, CPI data is what we pay for stuff. PPI is what the producers of goods pay for stuff. So if the producers are paying more and they pass it on to us, that means CPI will keep going up. So we're going to follow PPI data on the 11th. What else do I got for you? Oh, more international reports like Russia's S&P Global Manufacturing PMI Index. What about Canada's Global Manufacturing PMI Index? I'm telling you, I got you all covered. It's all linked down below. Well, do you like hanging out at conventions? Because guess what? There's a whole bunch of them in April. FinTech Revolution, G&M News, European Summit, NFT Talent. Okay, Bitcoin 2022. That's usually a big one, by the way. Bitcoin 2022 usually has some very interesting stuff coming out of it. I'm going to be very curious to see how big it is this year compared to last year. Because remember, last year wasn't that juicy. Last year, a lot of these conventions were really quiet, really muted, because the market wasn't so juicy. But now that the market's juicy, I'm going to keep saying juicy. Come on now, make me stop. But now that the market's way more juicy, I'm wondering if attendance is really going to be roaring more so this time around. Well, what else do we got? Stellar is doing Paris Blockchain Week. Oh, they're taking the stage on April 9th, and I believe that is going from April 9th to April 12th, I believe. So you got a whole bunch of conferences and events that are happening. So CPI data is going to be the big one. PPI is going to be the other big one. The Ripple case stuff, dude, yeah, I kind of want to see what Ripple's opposition to the 2 billion is. I would love to see kind of what their version is, and so I'm going to be definitely paying attention to big stuff like that. Now, are there any dates that I missed? If so, let me know in the comments below, and if it's something super significant, I'll probably make a standalone video on it, as if I cannot get everything all in one video, and I make mistakes like everyone else, so I may have omitted or forgotten something. And I know what you're thinking, Klaus, it must be super hard to be a White Sox fan considering they got swept by the Tigers. Yeah, 0-3. But don't worry, I am still stacking Luis Roberts' PSA 10 action. Why? Because I'm a glutton for punishment. But the big dates video is an important one because there is so much happening in this month, and especially with the Fed sitting here going, you know what, we're going to keep rates the same. And people are like, all right, cool. If you played your hat, we know what you're going to do all year. Now, will the markets be moving on these days? Well, with the Bitcoin halving action coming up here in, what does Garmin say? 18 and a half days. Come on, please move it to 420. Can we please have like a block production issue where they can't produce anymore and then we have to wait a day? Because that would be really freaking cool. Wouldn't you like to celebrate Bitcoin halving on 420? I mean, come on now. But there's a lot of big dates this month, and I think Bitcoin halving and CPI data that week from the 11th to the 19th 8-day period is going to be a big one. I think you're going to see a lot of market movement around that time as people are going to be putting in their last minute positions and changing to current positions in order to see if they can capture on the juicy goodness, or are people going to be selling off ahead of the Bitcoin halving? We've learned in the past with the news, especially with crypto, it's been buy the rumor and sell the news. And what a lot of us are wondering is, well, wait a minute. Does that mean we're going to have a sell-off before the halving? Or because of the economic data and the big events that are happening in April, is that going to set the stage for Bitcoin halving to propel us into more green? Think about that. Bitcoin $70,000 floor. How does that sound compared to the last couple years of reporting I've been able to do? And I know there's a lot of people out there, oh bro, you're so negative, bro. Dude, if the market's bad, I'm not going to lie to you, sugarcoat you and tell you, oh, things are amazing. But when you got news like Jerome Powell and the Fed saying, yo, we're going to pause, and people out there in the know going, okay, we know how to play that, well, then that sets the stage for a green market and a happy Klaus. If you didn't see that video regarding the good news that is going to happen to all of the markets, well, that's this video right here. Check it out. You will not be disappointed, as yes, negative Nancy Crypto Klaus usually brings the negative news, but on that video and on this one, I'm bringing the good news. I'll catch you cool cats later, as we say, oh, yeah, they're going to chop the socks down. Catch you later.